Good morning. My name is Michael Wolf. Um, in recognition of the date, today is April 1st, but this is no joke. This, okay, this is absolutely serious. Okay, so our present situation. We need to outline our present situation because I'm concerned, a little bit paranoid, and it's affecting my ability to sleep and basically anything else. But need to get this off my chest to express that we're in potentially in danger and could use some assistance. Um, anyway, I now have a caregiver, as a young man that does help out quite a bit, but unfortunately isn't able to help me be what I need to be socially. It's just doesn't doesn't seem to be possible anymore. Um, so now we're in trouble. So basically, this story is that we're presently under indictment, or whatever the equivalent is here in Mexico. I'm assuming it's for more than what we have been told. We were told that we stole some shade cloth, um, which actually was trash covering an old tank that's not used that was full of mosquitoes, and the tarp was full of pockets of water that were full of mosquitoes. I couldn't work in the shop. I got dengue fever from the mosquitoes, so we decided to clean it up so that we could use the shop without being bit and getting dengue fever. But anyway, uh, long story short, I've been here in Baja California Sur, Mexico since November 2014. I came here to apply for refuge. I was mistreated by the migration in Comar, who gave me an interview I wasn't supposed to have because of my mental health problems, brain damage. And during this interview, told me I could not apply because I told them after I left Mexico I was going to go to, or after I found crew or fixed my boat, I was going to leave Mexico and go to Chile. So because I said I didn't want to stay in their country, or because I didn't say what they wanted me, or just because I was in an interview, actually, they told me I couldn't apply. They never wanted me to apply, and they have no right to tell me I can't apply. That's not up to them. They are supposed to take my application and process it. And if they determine that I don't qualify, then it goes to the courts for a judge to decide, not the fucking woman sitting behind the fucking desk. Um, so I spent about 3 years trying to get that. Ended up having to give up and go with regularization. And after all that stress and everything else, and during all that stress and everything else, I was trying to gather everything I needed to get my ship together, which was crew and the caretaker, which I have in the form of one person, and all the stuff I needed, which I finally managed to find through purchasing most of it through salvage sales, yard sales, swap meets, all that kind of shit, and just finding it, trading, all that shit. But had problems with a gringo who's been here illegally for 20 years. And then I'm very stressed right now, so this is very hard for me to do. Then went to God. During all this time, I moved my boat up to a marina here in Pichilingue. It's just north of La Paz. It's a little commercial port north of La Paz. Basically, you can call it Happy Town. I'll explain that a bit later. I came here August 2015. Rented a slip for 2,200 pesos a month, which was dirt cheap, of course. So I started helping out, and I needed to stay up here because I can't get along with anybody, and this is very quiet and private, so it was a perfect situation for me. Unfortunately, actually, and when I first got here, I found a place next door. It's an old boatyard. It's abandoned property, and I inquired with the people I saw taking care of it one day because it was abandoned. I saw people on the property one day and asked them if I could rent the place. I gave them my information, and they said they would contact the owner, and I never heard anything. So I inquired a couple times more, still nothing. So gave up. So 3 years later, I have a caretaker, or 2.5 years later, whatever, I have a caretaker, and we decide, hey, let's work on the boat. We're gonna work on the boat. So we finally decide we're gonna work on the boat, and um, we are gonna look for a place on the site. There's no places in town we can go to. Well, we tried the one place. We tried one place that wouldn't rent to us, so or it wasn't available, or we couldn't afford it, or I think it was not available, something like that. It was Marina Rosas. So no other place could handle us. No other place would let us do our own work. So the other choice was Guaymas, which was a 3-week adventure to get there. We had to drive up and all this other shit. So it was a big fucking mess. The weather sucks up there, so it's not ideal for us anyway. It's too close to America. I'm too fucking scared of that place. All kinds of reasons we didn't want to go up there. So we tried to find something down here, and we tried again with this place next door. We figured, what the fuck? It's worth a shot. So we went to the public registry to find out who the owner was. Lo and behold, it's the state. So we went to the state and asked them, hey, we'd like to use this property. Said, make a proposal. This is all over email. This is all documented. Okay, this is over email and documented. Um, and I think I will post it on the disperser.info website, along with everything else. But we asked them what to do. They said, go make a proposal. We told them there was, there's a fence down. We could be on the property if they needed us to. We wanted to find out what's going on. They said, well, make a proposal, send us pictures, bring pictures, tell us what you want to do, and we'll let you know. We came back, and they said, the property's owned by Cantamar, the place next door. And then very quickly changed their mind. This was like over the weekend. They told us this Friday, and then by Monday it was, no, it's not owned by Cantamar, by someone else. And ends it up, what it is it's corruption. This piece of property was given to a German national who died in 2012, and his son is trying to take ownership. And here's where it gets really fucked up, folks, because we dove into the fucking hornet's nest, because the property was given to Wolfgang Brinkman Honak by Malcolm Neil Shroyer Schoen, who was an American who came to La Paz in the 1960s, and then again in the 70s or 80s, to kill his dream. He came here as a sailor, had a dream, going to sail around the world, came here and decided to rip people off and make money and exploit the local economy instead. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but that's the truth of what he did, because that's what he does. And he brought corruption here because he created something called API, which is basically it's the Port Authority. It's a private corporation that runs the ports. Max Shroyer, an American, was able to convince the Mexican government to let him manage their ports. And they were stupid enough to do so. And Malcolm Shroyer, Max Shroyer, they call him, brought corruption to La Paz. And we found this out because in 1998, he gave Wolfgang Brinkman Honak a piece of land that was designated for commercial use, and he gave it to him for private use. And it was used privately from 1998 till 2012, and then including the years until then, since then, which is now April 2019, it has been used privately for parties since 2012, but before that for him to live in and work on his private sailboat. And and he sold a couple anchors. Literally, he sold a couple of anchors. That was his commercial venture. Sold a couple of anchors in how many years? So we wanted to get used to this property. We don't care about this stuff. But while we're looking on this property, we found out that the locks were all bad. You just pull a lock and it opens. Really good. Because they're all rusted. We noticed some equipment on the property, and I made some inquiries about this equipment to two companies. One was Stahl in Germany, the owner of the manufacturer of the company. The other was Zenentech, a company in Querétaro, Mexico, that was the only company I know here that was a Stahl dealer. And I inquired about what it was worth, if they were interested in buying it, stuff like that, because it's heavy equipment. It's on a piece of abandoned property. I don't know what it is. It was left behind by these fucking Germans that it would have, whatever. I don't know what's going on. So I inquired about it. Well, turns out that the German, the son of of Wolfgang Honak, Karsten Honak, works at Zenentech, as a consultant for Stahl in Germany, and took the emails that I sent to Stahl and Zenentag and used them to find me and send me harassing emails, threatening me, or he sent me threatening emails and all this stuff. But this was after he had men who were shooting guns in Mexico, because you can't own guns in Mexico. Very, very special circumstances you can own guns, and under no circumstance can you shoot guns on the open water. So these guys were shooting rifles, and then they were sent over without the rifles, mind you, but with rifles. This is after we find these people that are next door on this property that's supposed to be abandoned and owned by the state shooting guns. So we call 911 and we go up and talk to the Marines, because nobody's supposed to be shooting, as far as we know. Nobody's definitely supposed to be shooting over water, and definitely not towards fucking tourists coming back from island tours, which is what these guys were doing. So we called everybody, and then next thing you know, they're brought to our boat and are threatening us and hand us a phone, and we're talked to in English by a man who identifies himself as Wolfgang Honak and says he works for Castor Industrial and that he owns the house next door, and threatens us and tells us to leave the country, tells us he's going to have us deported, and all this other stuff. So we file a police report, we hire an attorney, go to Fredo, paid him 40,000 pesos by now, and hasn't done a damn thing for us. We filed that case in November 2017. It still hasn't been even investigated, and yet now the owner of the marina we're at has filed these charges against us that we didn't do anything wrong. He's also said we didn't pay the rent, that we threatened somebody with a knife, nothing which we've done. And he filed these charges, a couple of weeks ago, and we are being spoken to by the prosecutor now. So obviously this man has connections, and we're told that he has connections with PRI, including Pepe Hevia, who was just voted out of office. So we are absolutely 100% victims of corruption in Mexico. And my assessment that Baja California Sur is the most corrupt state in Mexico is absolutely correct. And it is because of an American named Malcolm Neil Shroyer Schoen and his son Neil, who's carrying it on, who is a Mexican citizen, who was born in Mexico. So I'm getting this video out there because I'm scared, because I came here for fucking refuge, for protection from Americans, and ironically I come to an American-controlled state in Mexico where the Mexican government can't even control its own state. They allow a state to be run by the United States of America, its citizens, who come here, who stay illegally, who run illegal businesses. You go to clubcruceros.net. Okay, clubcruceros.net. Go to the service guide. Download that. That is a list of most of the American-owned businesses. That is a list of American-run businesses that are running illegally without work permits, without proper visas even, and who are not paying taxes. Some of whom make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single transaction when they sell sailboats, La Paz yachts, as far as I've heard. And these people are protected by the local government to conduct their illegal business, which rips off the Mexican people, the state of the Mexican government, the country of Mexico, and the local sailors who come through, who are supposed to be supported by Club Cruceros, which is an organization that shouldn't exist because they were stripped of their fucking charter because they were doing things illegally, like hoarding money and giving it to people they shouldn't be giving it to, like themselves. So, all kinds of illegal stuff going on here, all kinds of corruption. It's all foreigners, mostly Canadians now. They seem to be taking over for the Americans. And it all goes on, and we're fucking victims of it. And all we want to do is get our fucking sailboat fixed and get the fuck out of here. Be it another state in Mexico we can go to, or another country we can go to finish our boat. I need to do about 2 to 5 years worth of work on this boat. And I'm not going to fucking do it if I'm in fear for my life. From a corrupt state that protects a business, Cantamar, by the way, that pollutes the environment and launders money and harms tourists and nearly killed a dive master so that they can just make money and not care for the customer and scare tourists out of the country, injured a Chinese tourist, hit a fucking whale shark with one of their boats that's now broken and out back. Um, all kinds of stuff going on. They pay 200. They say they make $250,000 a month, dollars not pesos, a month with Cassiopeia, a core aggressor. Don't pay taxes on it, and are protected by the local fucking government from paying taxes to the federal government. And what's really funny is we can't get any help from the federal government because no one believes us, no one will let us listen to us, and no one will help us contact the federal government, anyone in charge. Finally gotten a hold of Morena in Mexico City, but they don't believe us, and they think we're fucking crackpots, and they're fucking ignoring us now. So what do you do when you can't explain yourself? What do you fucking do? You make videos and put them up on fucking YouTube and hope someone somewhere is gonna fucking watch them and say, hey, this guy actually fucking needs help, man. Or, oh wow, this guy got killed, and oh wow, it's here. Everything goes, why he did it. Oh my god, I should give this to somebody, because it's a historical record of how the corruption of Mexico was left untouched in Baja Sur because it was all gringos, and they fucking killed a gringo that left the United States and sought shelter in Mexico and couldn't get it because it went to the wrong fucking state. Yeah, that kind of shit. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Okay, so anyway, some names. Pedro Aguilar is the owner of Cantamar, the present owner of this fucking shithole Cantamar. And I call it a shithole because it's a shithole. They killed my fucking dog. Okay, they put rat poison out in the fucking gardens. Killed my fucking dog. They do nothing legal here. Nothing. Nothing is done legally. The business is so Pedro's a dive master. He's the son of a family of dive masters. Made their fame. They're really good divers. Really good dive masters. They really are. But they really prefer money over anything else. Or at least Pedro does. The father apparently doesn't. Abandon his son to run this fucking shithole into the ground, which it is. It's falling apart, literally. We're watching it, literally, day by day. The cracks are getting bigger as the marina walls fall into the fucking sea. Oh, and by the way, my boat was damaged by the electrical system, which has no physical ground, and I was told by Rodrigo, the former wrestler, who's also furry, into hollow furs, likes having sex with pool toys, shaped like fish. And he's the sales manager of Cantamar, and a father, and a husband. And he has a problem with us and fucks with our internet. So anyway, Pedro runs this place he runs this place. He also runs the Coro Aggressor / Cassiopeia, which is the one that makes $250,000 a month, and can't stay running because he bought a piece of shit. And he's pissed off at me because it was my idea, and doesn't acknowledge that, and didn't actually talk to me about how to make the idea happen. Oh yeah, luxury cruises for dives? Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go figure out how to do that myself. And he bought a piece of shit that isn't luxury. Never was. It was built in 2005, and it was. I go aboard a fucking boat built in 2005 and say it's a piece of shit. Yeah, I know luxury, and I know a piece of shit. But so he runs this thing, and he has Cantamar, which is a marina and hotel, restaurant, a beach, the resort. But it's a fucking shithole that's fallen apart, that's staffed by incompetent people because they're not paid anything, they're not given the benefits they're supposed to have legally by law, and they tolerate it because nobody else will employ them, I guess. I don't know. Or they're criminals, which we know this for a fact. I've been robbed by a few of them, and they steal from the owner. Yeah, he lost a 250,000 peso outboard motor to one of his employees, a captain he fired that very day. I fired my captain unjustly. Hired him back 2 weeks later, but I fired him unjustly. My outboard was stolen. Oh, it was that gringo. Yeah, that gringo stole it. Seriously. And so, let's see, this place is managed as loosely as possible. He's never here. He just believes what people tell him. And it's run this way because it's a place where he can rent hotel rooms to his free friends to buy favor, to curry favor. So he doesn't have to pay taxes. so he doesn't have to abide by the law, so he doesn't have to avoid polluting the fucking marina with oil and the fucking islands with oil from his leaky boats that he doesn't maintain well. Just all this fucking shit going on, all this illegal fishing going on, all this other crap. And the only fucking possible thing we have going for us is I finally spoke to the captain of the Navy of La Paz. I don't even remember his name. He was a very nice gentleman. And I'm hopeful that we have something good going for us. Because otherwise I'm scared. Anyway, 20 minutes. Wow. It's been a while since I've gone this long. It's been a while since I recorded. Personally, I'm not doing well. I am stressed to the point where I was when I was back in the United States. I'm having constant anxiety, daily anxiety attacks, daily petit mal seizures. Now that I know what those are. um, um, uh, these things, absent seizures, where I just blank out. Yeah, I'm having those more often now. Um, I, 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 I can't keep my thoughts straight. I can't. Yeah, like that. I'm really fucking stressed. Um, just not doing well. Guts are in a knot, and I can't do any work on the boat. I'm trying to, I've got some experiments going with ferrocement. I've discovered a method of making armatures with ferrocement that could produce the thinnest, strongest ferrocement structures made, and patentable structure. Basically, I take, well, here we go. Take lath cloth that's oriented this way. Take lath cloth that's oriented this way. The 3.4 lath cloth or whatever that they use for ferrocement, and you weld it between 3/16, I believe, or is it 3/8? 3/8 rebar in a 6-inch cross pattern. And you weld it between the crosses, and it comes out the thickness of the weld wire of the rebar. So 1/4 inch thick, whatever it is, two of the rebars minus whatever you get out of it when you squish it together when you weld it. And if I were to do resistance welding, which would be bump, projection welding, then I could weld it hot enough to get it thinner, even, so I could make it the thickness of one, potentially. So that's the strongest material you can use in ferrocement because it's a three-dimensional reinforcement, because it not only has the surfaces in these directions, but they're bent this way because the material is taken like this and expanded, so it has three-dimensional surface. But you take it because it only has strength in one direction because it's expanded, so it only has strength this way. So you take it, turn it sideways, orient it with each other, essentially welding it together, and it has ultimate strength in both directions, in all directions, and then you've put it within this armature, and then put it in cement, and it should have extremely high strength for just a very little bit of material. But I'm going to experiment with that. But the material I'm going to make is actually going to be about half inch, 3/4 inches thick, shelves and a wall in a semi bulkhead in the bow of my ship. But I can't even do this right now. I've finally gathered all materials together. By the way, it took 3 months to find cement in Baja Sur. There is nothing here. This is just the most desolate, loneliest, isolated place in the fucking world for anything. I mean, anything I get, I have to fucking mail order. Toilet paper, paper towels. I mean, I use this fucking shit because that's all that's available on the peninsula. You walk into a store and there's 4 brands of anything available. If you're lucky, 4. Most of the time, it's 1. You know, I was looking for corn syrup back when I could eat sugar, and it was only one kind available. Cairo Baby was all you could find down here in the peninsula. Everywhere you went, Cairo Baby. Oh, look, they have my Cairo Baby. Oh, they have some, no, Cairo Baby. Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, this place is so fucking corrupt, it's not funny, and it's all because of an American, and other Americans I'm sure helped out, but you know, and they all think I'm an asshole. They all think I'm trying to out their corruption and make them not be corrupt anymore, or go to jail or whatever. I don't fucking care that they're corrupt. I'll fucking help. Oh, you guys have some property you're fucking stealing from Mexican people? Oh fuck, man, I'll help you make it into a fucking boatyard. I don't fucking care. I just want to fucking finish my boat and leave. I came to Mexico to help. I've been shit on by the fucking people, by the country. You think I want to fucking help anymore? I don't fucking give a shit. Be corrupt. Rip off fucking Mexico. Rip off each other. Rip off the fucking tourists. Rip off the Mexican people. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care about anything anymore. Except myself and my family. I just want to fucking leave everything. So anyway.